Respected viewers, brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Before we get into this very exclusive and special interview, I would like to say Assalamu ala al-Hussein wa ala Ali ibn al-Hussein wa ala awlad al-Hussein wa ala ashab al-Hussein alladhina badalu muhajahum dun al-Hussein alayhi salam. Once again, respected viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to a special interview with me, your host Ahmed Ali. Tonight we have with us a servant of Allah, a servant of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, who has dedicated his time, his wealth, everything he has, his family, for the sake of serving the Zuwar of Imam Hussein alayhi salam and Abul Fadl Abbas alayhi salam. Without further ado, let's welcome my dear guest. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
How are you?
Fine.
Allah khalikum, inshallah. If you want to begin with your name, where are you from?
My name is Ibrar Muhammad Shah. I come from London, Birtania. I came first time here 1986. That was our London. So after that, keep on coming. And when the Karbala open, came first time, and since I'm coming every month, bringing the people Zuwar Imam Hussein from to here.
MashaAllah.
So this year I came 10 times here now.
Oh, just this year?
Just
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. When we do hear that, I've heard about your story. I mean, it's very unique because you need blessings to ease the way of the Za'ir, to make him feel like he's home in Karbala. Although that Karbala is everybody's home, all the lovers' home of Islam, this is our home. This is where we come back to. But since previous to the interview, you told me that you eased the Zuwar's way to Karbala, you know, through your special ways. You have multiple ways. But how did you begin this journey?
I started this from hobby when I was a child. I feel like to do this thing and going to ziyarat and this thing.
MashaAllah.
When we started ziyarat in the Syria, for every time coming the full flights, in special Arba'in, 2 flights, 3 flights. And when I'm going to the Arba and the ziyarat, I go myself first. I have to check out if he's an 80-year-old person, 90-year-old person, how can that easy feel like to do to ziyarat. So first time going to the Halab al-Raqqa and the ziyarat, we went to by road, where it was difficult. Then I went to by air. They decided to take the people to by air. So that's what since then when the problem there, and we coming to Karbala. So same time they are coming to Karbala, people then they had the piece of Jannat here.
MashaAllah,
Alhamdulillah, everybody feel come here, we don't feel nothing. We don't care about the home and nothing, we are lucky here. Alhamdulillah, we have ziyarat Imam Hussein.
So you basically dedicated your life to doing this. I mean,
yes.
You said that since you were a child, you were dedicated to serve the holy shrines of Ahlul-Bait alayhim salam across the world. Have you visited all of them?
All of them, everywhere. Evenly I went to the Masjid Aqsa as well, first Qibla. Went to the Syria, all ziyarat. We did to the, in Iraq, all of ziyarat, Kazman, Samra, everywhere. We have the, I think the great honors. I went to the Awlad Muslim, Salamullah alayhi, inside, downstairs, in the Qabr Mubarak.
Oh, MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
Every time they give the special things to me, Wala Fadl Abbas and Wala Hussein alayhi salam.
Yeah, every time you do come to Karbala, especially, you know, going to the holy shrines of Ahlul-Bait is a blessing.
Blessing,
yes. But when you come to Karbala, when you go inside the holy shrine of Hussein alayhi salam, it's something new every year. You know, whether if you come, you go today and tomorrow, yesterday was a different day from today. You learn something different. You realize
different.
It is, yeah, and the blessings grow. I mean, every time you go in, you find something unique about the place, whether the building, whether the huge structure, that you can say that it's symbolized to their bravery. You know, if we want to compare now and other times, compare Imam Hussein alayhi salam and his enemies, the ones that wanted this world yet never got it. Yet Imam Hussein alayhi salam wanted the hereafter and got this world. So it's significant. So for the dear viewers that are just tuning in, Sayyid is, you have a caravan and you bring people from across the world to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. So we know that you began it when you were a child. You had the goal of visiting the Ziyarah of Hussein alayhi salam. But if we want to talk about how did you get this as a hobby? You said 10 times a year. Is that flat? Does it increase? Does it decrease?
Every time increase.
Oh, mashallah.
Every time increase. We have so many mu'jizat in Kafla. One lady came, people wants to, they said there's nothing there. She had a stroke. She cannot walk. She cannot move. He came with Bibi Zainab salamullah alayhi and told her everything's there. You just dua. And Arba'in night, she was walking on feet to come back to hotel and back to she's still there. People can phone and ask her. And after that, she had the 2 finger left that just pending. I told her, sister, this is the sister of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Fitr is an angel, thousands of years living there, and he touched his body with just a wooden place with the Imam Hussein alayhi salam. His arms come back. Why don't you touch your finger? It will be there. And she touched that, and finger was straight. Allah. And she came here last time in Ashur. She was here with me, the family. So many happens, so many miracles there. Definitely. Everything is there. It's a Jannah, piece of Jannah.
It is, it is. I mean, just to add upon your point right there, that Imam Sadiq alayhi salam and the Ahlul-Bait say that Karbala is taken directly from paradise. It's a piece of paradise put on this earth. What kind of services do you provide for the Zuwar?
I'll provide everything, transport, food, whatever they want to do, we do that. We like to do Khidmat Zuwar Imam Hussain alayhi salam. We do this one, and the last couple of years I thought myself, and I will do the Niyazi Imam Hussain alayhi salam. I started just only a little bit. Then the people support me. I given the 10,000 people food every day, just walk up in front of the hotel. Then the next year, in the Ashur, 10 days complete, 10,000 bottle of waters and food, everything. This year we're still doing as well. So there now this team, I've spoken to my nephews who are with me. So I made, they decided, they said we are going to make that trust. Hazrat Ghazi Abbas Alamdar Sabil in Karbala. So we are voluntarily come every year, their own money, and help in the Zuwar and Khidmat Zuwar Imam Hussain alayhi salam. And we are going to expand this thing, the help to the orphan peoples and other peoples. So we are planning for this thing.
MashaAllah. Across the year, I mean, you say every year your visit to Karbala increases. How many pilgrims, how many Zuwar across the year do you bring to Karbala?
I'm bringing every month at 150, 100, something like that, because that's the thing. People still keep asking me more. So I said, no, just enough, because hotel and capacity and this thing. And we're going to start from here and stay 4 or 5 nights in the Karbala. We do all of ziyarat in Taraf. Then we go to the Balad, Sayyid Muhammad Salamullah alayhi. Then we're going to Samra, ziyarat, Imamain Salamullah alayhi. Then we come back to Kazman. Then we went go to the Ulad Muslim, Hazahur, on. Then we, after going to Hilla, Ziyarat Hilla, Zayd bin Ali in Qasim. Then we go to Najaf Ashraf. We stay 4 or 5 days Najaf Ashraf. We have the full program given to writing. All the people, they will go to this Masjid Kufa. I remember that I came first time 1986. My son was only 3 months. And we went to the Masjid Kufa. I seen the Masjid Kufa was nothing there, just only sand and stone is there. And our car was going to stop with just going to the Masjid Kufa wall. No security. Now, mashallah, alhamdulillah, is a beautiful change. We went to Bait Ali alayhi salam. Now it's changed. Everything is, every time we come is a different, everything is a different change. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. If you want to compare, I mean, Bait, the house of Imam Ali alayhi salam, and behind it is just desert. That desert was the palace of Abdullah ibn Ziyad. Every corrupt ruler that ruled Kufa, before or after Ali ibn Talib alayhi salam, that was his palace behind the house of Ali ibn Talib alayhi salam. But yet now you see the house, even though it's old, the house of Ali ibn Talib is still there. Yet behind him is just desert. It's rubbish. So Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. But if you want to focus on your journey, the satisfaction of the Zuwar, when you bring them here, what's their spirituality level? From beginning from home up until here. I know that you're not in their hearts, but from their communication with you, how are they satisfied? I mean, where do they find more pleasure? In Karbala or other cities?
When they start journey from the London, they are want to become in the moment go to the Karbala, the feeling like that.
So the first place they want to go
First
to
to
Karbala.
Karbala. When they come to Karbala, they go to Ziyarat Imam Hussein. Then they don't feel like to the luxury, this thing eating, this thing. They just said, we are the Karbala. This was more than enough.
Yeah.
They are everything satisfied. Only will they help me. They help himself. Whatever they said, they all of the doing all the time. Khidmat Zuwar of Imam Hussein al Islam. Sometimes we found the people. They lost that. We bring them to the hotel and we found it then taking the people to the right place.
MashaAllah.
We just way doing the things.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So you said from across the world. If you want to list, you know, there's a lot of countries. How many countries over the past few years have you got visitors come from?
Actually, there's my friend of mine here. He used to be in London. Now he's in the government. He's a very honest, good person. Like angels, like, and he helped me, and the visa and these things. Now we don't give the visa money to the agent routing this thing. That's why I cut down my price to give to the facility to the Zuwar, not give to the money to other people.
MashaAllah. So you don't benefit from them?
No benefit.
So before the show you told me?
1987, living in London, the same house, still the same house.
Oh wow.
Just one
MashaAllah.
house, only, that's it.
MashaAllah. So we do see the dedication. I mean, but before the episode you told me how you have a travel agency where
Yes.
you, the Zuwar can book through you. And Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, when we do hear that, you told me that you lessen the price for the Zuwar, especially during Arba'een. And now everybody knows about Arba'een.
Yeah.
And it's a time of business. It's like a time of business. When Arba'een comes around, you know, you see all the travel prices go up. It seems like as in Christmas, you know, people travel. But Arba'een has become the new holiday. You know?
That's the way people make the business,
Yeah.
like the hotel people. If you stay 1 day or 10 days, they charge you 10 days. That
Yeah.
is no good for them.
Yeah.
But people, Zuwar Imam Hussein coming there, sometime my group, the people walk from Najaf to Karbala. So you imagine that people are living in London, in luxury life, and they come and walk from little children. We have the children, 8-year-old
Yeah.
and 9-year-old, one lady, the baby. They came from Najaf to Karbala. It took 3
MashaAllah.
days. So
Yeah.
people have the owns there, and only we need the request to the government to stop the hoteling people, because they are charged now. We are paying to $135 per night per person. So this is the huge of money, and they are just making the business. That way the business, to do the ziyarat and these things.
Yeah, so basically that people need to, you know, raise their spirituality to the level where they need to ease in the way for the Za'ar. We have a narration by Al-Baqir alayhi salam. He says, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. He says, if a person eases the way for the Za'ar alayhi salam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ease in his way into heaven on a day of judgment. So we do see that. I mean, Ahlul-Bait alayhi salam, you know, they haven't forgotten about anything. Everything that's related to ziyarah of Muhammad alayhi salam is narrated in their books, narrated in their hadith, you know, and we do find that. But just to you know, conclude this beautiful interview, the last question would be, is that how was your experience? I mean, you've done it over what, 20 years now?
More than that.
More than that.
More than about
More than that.
35, 36 years.
Wow, 35, 36 years. I was up by
The thing
16
is, there
years.
is when you have a look at the history, every time people and governments, anti-Shia governments, anti of the Ahlul-Bait al-Islam,
Yeah.
they stopped trying to stop that. They
Oh, yeah.
never stopped.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you just think in the 2011, people came in 13 million.
Yeah.
2012, 18 million, 15 million. 2013, 20 million. 2014, 32 millions, and this year expected about, I think, more than 40 millions. So whatever they do, they cannot stop the Zuwar Imam, Ziyarat Imam Hussein al
They
Islam.
cannot. I mean,
Day by day is increasing, and the government knows, and word of the knows what is things there now. And especially we are thankful for the media, because media took all the things and showing the people actual things, and that's what I feel.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And just to add upon your point, you know, during the time of the Abbasid dynasty, they put a high fee for the people who come for the ziyarah. If you want, it's similar to the visa right now. You know, visa is hard to get for Iraq due to the situation of Iraq. But they raised the fee. People started getting loans, borrowing money just to pay the fee and going to the ziyarah. After when they realized that, they said fees is not enough. Cut off one hand. Then people still, they gave out hands. They cut off hands just to go to the ziyarah. Then they said 2 hands, then 2 legs. Yet they come to say that Sayyidi Mawlai, لو قطعوا الأيدي والأرجل نأتيك زحفا سيدي يا حسين. If they cut off our hands and our legs, we'll come crawling to you, O Hussein. So at last, what would you like to say to Hussein alayhi salam? You know, we have a blessed view right now. Behind you, if the cameraman can show, Imam Hussein alayhi salam, Abul Fadl Abbas right here. It's amazing. So what would you like to say? I mean, we're right next to them.
Next, we are thankful, special for the Iraq governments. They give a good opportunity to people come to look to Ziyarat Imam Hussein and Salam. Now last year is a history. There are people just putting the stamp on the hand, go. Never ever visa facilities like that. This only Barakat Imam Hussein al Salam.
Definitely.
32 million people is not a joke. It's a big history.
It is.
And another thing, you can see the big events in the world.
They
never have happened, never have shortage of food, never have shortage of food. Alhamdulillah. This is the people say the Jannat things.
Alhamdulillah.
If you go, people are like, compared to the Hajj, right? And the 3 million people, and all the rubbish, and the 3 months there. They are, alhamdulillah, this is the Ansar Imam Hussein al Islam. They clean in the 5 minutes. And never ever food anything shortage of that thing. That's alhamdulillah. Never happens. Never accident.
MashaAllah.
Alhamdulillah. This is the Mojza Imam Hussein al Islam.
Definitely.
And people now, they realize 32 million people, that nothing happened. Only 2.5 million people, they killed 10,000 people.
I mean, in Hajj, we did see that. You know, 3 million, yet over 1,000 people died.
But more than 10,000.
More than 10,000?
More than 10,000.
Wow,
figure. And if you've seen that, they are just picking the people like shovels.
And shovels,
And no respect for the human body, no respect, nothing. Just treating an animal dies. That's
why we see Ahlul-Bait alayhim as-salam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. They say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala looks at the visitors of Hussein alayhi salam 40 years before he looks at the people in Arafah. You know, it's a huge time. 40 years in the time of the hereafter. 40 years is like 40,000 years in our time, you know. So the Zuwar of Islam, they have priority to heaven more than the people in Arafah. The people in Arafah, you know, you don't have to be pious to go to Mecca, but when you come to Karbala and you uphold the rituals of Allah, the rituals of Islam, you have to be pious, like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, وَمَنْ يُعَظِّمْ شَعَائِرَ اللَّهِ فَإِنَّهَا مِنْ تَقْوَى الْقُلُوبِ. And who upholds the rituals of Allah, it is from the piety of the heart. So I would like to thank you for joining us tonight.
I just mention one thing, I forget that.
Definitely.
And I think I'm the luckiest person. Imam Hussein al Islam gave me the very good opportunity. Because my friend of here, and he gave me the land in the Wadi Islam in Karbala and Kabul. 40 people for my life, for my families. This is a big honor for me. So that is the reward from the Imam Hussein Islam, because I'm doing the khidmat Zuwar Imam Hussein Islam. And after the reward, that night I couldn't sleep whole night, because this is a big thing. I want to be, the people wants to be there. He give me the reward of graveyard, 40 people for my family. My Makbara name was there. This is my great honors. And my
MashaAllah.
son now, this one transferring to my generations. My
Alhamdulillah.
father was doing it in my own country, Pakistan. I'm doing here, and my son is now 18 year, about 18 and a half, and he bringing the caravan. When I'm
MashaAllah.
tired, one flight I came with my Zuwar of Imam Hussein, and other flight he came there.
Oh wow, MashaAllah.
So he brought the goods.
So,
So
it's,
my
it
generation
transcended
started.
through, yeah.
Yes.
So it transcended through your generations,
So-
and you know, whatever goes on in your life, whatever goes on in anybody's life, we all have to know that if it wasn't for Imam Hussein, we wouldn't have these blessings. I mean, those blessings, as you mentioned,
Yeah.
they all come from Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Because why? I mean, we do sacrifice, say $10,000, $50,000, $100,000, but Imam Hussein alayhi salam sacrificed the most precious thing, which is life, because of us. So we can live a life free of oppression. You know, a better humanity.
Yeah.
You know, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So once again, I would like to thank you for joining us on the show. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue blessing you and blessing everyone across the world. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And to add upon his point, it is very significant to strive towards Imam Hussein alayhi salam and strive towards spreading the message of Imam Hussein, because whatever, and despite the horrific actions that do go on across the world, no one will depart us from Imam Hussein alayhi salam. So respected viewers, I would like to thank you once again for tuning in this exclusive interview, and thank you very much Sayyidina for joining us tonight. Stay tuned for the upcoming episodes. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.